So I've just read some pretty unsettling news. The United States government commissioned a study to be done on alcohol and your health. This study was paid for with US tax dollars and the findings have been buried. The report, that was done by multiple scientists, was finished, submitted, and the findings were confirmed. But the Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s administration have buried the findings. They literally just shelved it away. And we only know this thanks to one journalist, Dylan Scott from Vox. Scott tracked down the draft and confirmed its authenticity with multiple experts. But do you want to know what it really revealed? It revealed that even just one drink a day can increase your risk of cancer, and it can even lead to a premature death. This is the story that they didn't want you to hear until now. I'm going to share the findings of this report, and I'm also going to share why they buried it. A very quick introduction. My name is Leon Sylvester. I'm the founder of SoberClear.com. I struggled with alcohol for about 10 years. I haven't drank now for 7 years. I've helped tens of thousands of people to stop drinking alcohol, and I make videos to inform the public on the dangers of drinking alcohol, to help them reframe the way that they view it, to stop seeing it as something that enhances their life and see it for the insidious, poisonous drug that it is. So what exactly happened? So in 2022, the Department of Health and Human Services commissioned a study. It was called the Alcohol Intake and Health Study. Listen to the word there, commissioned. In other words, it was paid for by US tax dollars. Now, this wasn't just an academic curiosity. It was actually designed to inform the American dietary guidelines. These guidelines shape everything from what children eat in school to what hospitals recommend their patients. This was deep. So a team of scientists spent multiple years reviewing the evidence. By 2024, they finally submitted their draft, and this is where things got strange. The final report, it was never published. It was never released, and it wasn't added to the guidelines. And it wasn't even released by Congress, where it's supposed to go by law. And if Dylan Scott hadn't dug into it, speaking to sources, confirming the findings with scientists, we would never have known it even existed. So what did the scientists actually find? Well, according to the draft, there is no safe level of alcohol. Risks begin at just one drink a day, and as we already know from this YouTube channel and the findings that I've been sharing, it raises the risk of 7 cancers, including breast, bowel, liver, and various cancers of the mouth, throat, and voice box. And the numbers were crystal clear. At 1 drink a day, your chance of dying from an alcohol-related death is 1 in 1,000. 2 drinks a day, it triples to 1 in 300. And at just 3 drinks a day, it's nearly 1 in 100. Just think about that for a second. The same glass of wine that was marketed as healthy for your heart could be raising your risks of a cancer death. This wasn't some fringe science. It was a government commission expert-written review, the kind of report that shapes US health policy, and it never saw daylight. So the big question is, why? Why was it buried? Well, we'll never know the real reason, but we can speculate. And to me, there are 3 clear things that are coming into play here. The first thing is the alcohol lobby, especially in the USA. See, alcohol is a $250 billion a year industry, and alcohol companies are known to spend millions doing all sorts of marketing, from funding charities to sponsoring sports to lobbying the US government. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars doing this. And the truth is, a government guideline saying there is no safe amount of alcohol to drink would devastate the alcohol industry. So that's the first factor. The second factor is the politics. See, most of the adult population drink alcohol. So no politician wants to stand up there on a platform and say, guys, there is no safe amount of alcohol to drink. It's a carcinogen. It's a political nightmare. It's the last thing that they want to do. They're going to alienate their voters. And it's so much easier just to bury a report like this than face the potential backlash. And the third and final thing that we could argue are the leadership choices in America. When the report landed in 2024, the Trump administration was in charge. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was health secretary, and under their leadership, the report was shelved. The official line was that more evidence was needed, because otherwise it might confuse the public. But here's the thing. Scientists say that the evidence is already overwhelming. But whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, it makes no difference. That administration buried this report. So is all of this familiar? Is history just repeating itself? Well, if you ask me, if we look back at history, Yes, it is. Let's look at tobacco, sugar, and oil. Firstly, with tobacco, by the 1950s, scientists knew for sure that alcohol caused cancer. What happened? Well, Big Tobacco spent decades funding fake studies and even pressuring politicians. Number two, when it comes to sugar, in the 1960s, the sugar industry literally paid Harvard researchers to blame fat instead of sugar for heart disease. And finally, oil. In the 1970s, oil companies' own scientists warned them of climate change. And instead of acting on this advice, they just launched denial campaigns. Now, alcohol is following the exact same script. The evidence is clear. The science is clear and the risks are documented. And once again, the sad thing is industry profits come before public health. So let's just strip this all down for a second. What is alcohol? What did the study find? And what can you take away from all of this nonsense? Well, according to the World Health Organization, alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen. Just so you know, a group 1 carcinogen is the same as tobacco and even asbestos. Number 2 is the so-called health benefits of moderate drinking are mostly debunked. These studies are riddled with bias. For example, healthier and wealthier people are more likely to drink wine. And this just completely skews the data. And the ultimate truth is any amount of alcohol increases the risk of death. Less is obviously safer, but zero is safest. This is the reality that the alcohol industry doesn't want to talk about. Really, on a bottle of alcohol, what it should slap on the label is Group 1 carcinogen, known to cause death, and if you drink this much, here's the reality. Are we going to see that in the next 10 years? I doubt it. Maybe in 15 years, maybe in 20 years. The quicker the better if you ask me. Because people need to be informed. We know the dangers of fentanyl. We know the dangers of all of these other drugs, but alcohol, we just brush it under the rug. Let's not upset our voters. And here's the harsh truth. Once people start to wake up and see alcohol for what it is, the same way that we see cigarettes and asbestos, it's game over. The industry will dry up. And you want to know one of the craziest statistics ever? Most Americans don't know that alcohol even causes cancer. Surveys show that fewer than 50% of people are aware of this. Just compare that to tobacco. Almost everybody knows that tobacco kills you. This ignorance, the public being so misinformed, is not an accident. It is literally the result of decades of careful branding. Drink responsibly. Drink the recommended daily allowance. We've heard it all before. We've seen the ads, the sophistication, the success, the glamour, the camaraderie. We've seen all of that crap a million times. See, alcohol companies are not interested in educating you. They're interested in marketing. They're interested in spreadsheets and capturing their fair share of the market. That's all they care about. They care about shareholder value, and the last thing they care about is the consumer. The more you drink, the better it is for business. So let's quickly recap. A government-commissioned team of scientists found out in a scientific report that there is no safe amount of alcohol to drink. We found out that the report links alcohol to various cancers and even just 1 drink a day. It was submitted, but then the report was buried by the current administration, and we only know this thanks to Dylan Scott from Vox. But here's the thing, and here's the bottom line of all of this. We don't need to wait for governments to tell us that it's not good to drink alcohol. Sat there waiting for this government report, I mean, it's going to influence a lot of people, but we don't need that. You're watching this channel. And if you want to stay informed, definitely hit subscribe. And if you're a business owner or a professional that wants help stopping drinking alcohol, if you want to book a free call, then just click the link in the description. We have a totally new way of helping people get control of their drinking in as little as 48 hours. We get a 96% client rated success rate. This is confirmed by an academic psychologist. You can go on Google Scholar and search Sober Clear System. But if you want to see if that's a good match, we are accepting new clients right now. So click the link in the description, apply, and then you can book a call, and then we can see if the program could be a good match for you.